All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast. And for the third segment of today's show, we're going to recap all the games from yesterday and look at the current standings as we normally do. So, with that, let's get right into it. Red Sox and the Yankees, they finished off their season series yesterday with another doubleheader. And the Red Sox took the first game 5-0. Yankees took the second game 8-5. So right now, both of these teams sit at 74 and 73. So they are tied for last place still. So last place in the AL East is still up for grabs. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's just it's depressing. It really is depressing that this is what it's come down to. We're getting hyped over trying to beat out the Red Sox for last place and vice versa. That's what this has come to. Last place. But yeah, so both teams are a game over. We'll see what happens, but yeah. Pirates beat the Nationals 2-0. They start a series with the Yankees this weekend. Reds lose a tough game yesterday, 8-2 to the Tigers. So that's a big loss for them. Brewers winning 4-2 despite Christian Yelich not being in the lineup yesterday. That's a big loss for the Marlins. Mets all over the Diamondbacks 11-1. That's another tough loss. Kodai Senga picked up his 11th win. So yeah, I mean Kodai Senga going into next season, you got yourself a starting pitcher. That's going to be, I guess, the ace of your staff. So that's good. I think obviously the Mets still got to go out and shore up the rotation, but that's good for now. Rangers all over the Blue Jays 9-2, and they complete the 4-game sweep of the Blue Jays. That is so bad for the Blue Jays. It really is. Rangers put up a 5 spot in the 8th inning. Yeah, so the Blue Jays dropped down to 80 and 67 on the season. Rangers 82 and 64. But I keep saying, it's really all going to come down to who's hot at the right time. That really is what it's going to come down to. And right now the Rangers are hot, the Blue Jays are not. So, and then the Rays, they picked up the win against the Orioles in the first game of a huge series, and they improved their record to 91 and 57. Orioles are 91 and 55. So, yeah, I mean the Rays. Listen, they could pass the Orioles this weekend if they continue to play well and win these games. But yeah, the Rays put up a 3 spot in the 3rd inning. Bradish picked up the loss. Orioles tied the game in the 5th inning, and then the Rays went ahead in the 7th inning. So Ryan O'Hearn hit a home run, got the game started. Brandon Lau had a single. Arozarena tripled. He scored 2 runs. Gunnar Henderson hit his 26th home run of the season, and right now he is front runner to win American League Rookie of the Year. Adam Frazier tied the game with a ground out, and then Luke Raley hit his 19th home run in the season at the top of the 7th, and that's what propelled the Rays to the victory and getting a big win over the Orioles. And then the Twins last night all over the White Sox, winning 10-2. So their magic number continues to go down as they try to wrap up the Central. So now, the updated standings. So, in the AL East right now, the Orioles at 91 and 55 hold a 1-game lead over the Rays. So, and the Rays right now in their last 10 games are 8-2. So they are playing really good baseball right now. And they could definitely surpass the Orioles if they, continue to, like I said, play well and, get big hits when they need to. Rarely, that was a big home run. So the Orioles, they need to go out and win tonight. And that game actually will be on, I think tonight will be on Apple TV. Yeah. But we'll get into that in the next segment. So right now the Orioles, they sit in first place. Their magic number is 15. So We still got a long way to go. It's going to go down to the last week of the season. The Twins, they picked up a win. Finally, they won, and the Guardians lost. Because I know the last couple of times, I'd go over the standings. It would be, the Twins, they lost, and the Guardians lost. So that, nothing happens except the magic number goes down. But now it's down to 8. So the Twins, they're 8 games up. Nothing really else to talk about there. They're going to win the Central. And the AL West is very close. It is right now the Rangers are a half game back of the Astros, and the Mariners are 1.5 games back. So Astros, they got to keep winning. Rangers are right there. Rangers have won 6 in a row. They're playing really good ever since I said I think they're going to be on the outside looking in. So I just think it's funny that that's how that's played out. Braves clinched their division. Brewers right now are 4.5 games up on the Cubs. Cubs right now are 5-5 in their last 10 games. They've lost 2 in a row. And it's crazy what the run differential is between these two teams. So the Brewers are in first place. They got a plus 50, and the Cubs have a plus 93. So, but the Cubs got to start playing better, because right now that deficit is getting bigger and bigger, and they got to make up some ground here. They're running out of time. So, but yeah, that's the Central. Then you got the West. Dodgers, magic number's 4. They will get that in the coming days. So then you move on to the wild card. And right now it's the Rays, the Rangers, and the Mariners. And the Blue Jays sit a game and a half out of that third wild card spot. So they got 15 games before they're eliminated, between teams winning and them losing. So there's still time for them, but they've lost 4 in a row, which is rough, and especially at home too. They got swept at home. They got 4 games at home. And I kept saying, they're going to win a game. Nope, they didn't. And my earpiece just fell out. And the other thing is, I don't even think I really need my earpiece, but it's just to look podcasty, I guess. Oh, I didn't even realize, because Sean is in the chat, a fellow GSMC podcaster. So he's asking, did you see the Blue Jays activated Matt Chapman off of the IL? I did not. But that's huge for them, because they are going to need him, especially with these last couple weeks of the season. And yeah, I still think the playoff push is possible. It's just right now they're not playing a good brand of baseball. You're getting swept at home by the Rangers. Things aren't looking good right now at the moment for them. But anything's possible. Again, it really all depends on who's hot at the right time. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. That's really how I look at it. But, yeah, they sit a game and a half back. You figure they're going to get hot at some point. But we'll just have to wait and see. But, yeah. So, that's the American League. I'm not really going to mention any of the other teams that are still mathematically in it. But, yeah, that's really the important teams. You got the Rays, Rangers, Mariners, and the Blue Jays. So now we go to the National League, where it's just, it's ridiculous. So you got the Phillies and the Cubs, obviously. Then after that, you got the Giants, the Diamondbacks, the Reds, all tied for that third wild card spot. It's just, it's mayhem. It really is. And then you got the Marlins, who are a half game out. So, I really don't even know. I said it was going to be between the Marlins and the Reds, but now you got 2 other teams in the mix with that. You got the Diamondbacks, and now you got the Giants. I thought the Giants were done, but they've been playing better as of late. Right now they hold that spot, so it really is going to be it's really going to be exciting to watch down the stretch how this plays out. Because I don't think I've ever seen this many teams, literally right there for that third spot. And well, I mean, it's only been 2 years with this, but and they did have it, I guess, during COVID, the expanded playoffs, and then they brought it back last year. But yeah, because back in the day, like I think I said in a previous show, it used to just be one wild card. It was one wild card, and then you had the three division winners. Now then you add the wild card game, and now you got the wild card series. So, but yeah, right now the Marlins are the team that's on the outside looking in, because you got the Diamondbacks, Reds, and Giants. They're all tied for that spot, but that spot's still up for grabs. Diamondbacks have lost 3 in a row. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a roller coaster. You got teams that are hot, teams that are not, and then, all of a sudden, I don't even know, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see how this shakes out. So Kashan also asked another question, but who is the greatest Philadelphia Philly of the past 20 years? That is a tough question to ask, because I mean, I listen, I've only started watching baseball since '07. There's definitely maybe have been some guys before that, but I mean, I'd probably go with some of the guys that I watched playing. Ryan Howard comes to mind, Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins, like guys from all those teams. You had Roy Halladay as well, who was a Yankee killer. Him and Cliff Lee were Yankee killers. I mean, they didn't spend the bulk of their career with the Phillies, but those are guys that come to mind from those teams, at least. I could think of those. I mean, those teams are really good. I mean, Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee weren't on the team that won the World Series in '08, but that core of Ryan Howard, Utley, Jimmy Rollins, Jason Worth, those are some really good. That was a really good team, and it really kind of, because 2011 it looked like that was the year, because they had Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee, and then they lost to the Cardinals, and then after that, the team just fell apart, and they just weren't good anymore. So that team like fell off a cliff, really. No pun intended, Cliff Lee, but yeah, that's a good question. I would say it would be one of those players from that era, at least, unless I'm missing somebody. I'd have to go back, but that's at least who I could think of when you're talking about the Phillies. And now with the Phillies, they got that top spot, and maybe Bryce Harper will be that player if he's holding up a trophy at the end of the year, which it's going to be tough because you got the Braves, but we're just gonna have to wait and see, as I like to say. But I appreciate the questions. But that's what it's about. It's about the interaction with the listeners. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun with the postseason, and I keep saying that basically on every show. Yeah, Jason Worth was then went to Washington. Remember that. Those national teams were pretty good, but they never got to the World Series with Jason Worth. But then, once Bryce Harper left, then they win the World Series, which it's kind of funny, but also it's like, it's kind of sad on his part. But hey, he got to play in a World Series last year. Phillies came really close. But yeah, Jason Worth was a good player as well, and also another guy. Not that he was one of not that he was the greatest Philly from the last 20 years, but Raul Ibanez. Loved Raul Ibanez, especially the 1 year that he was a Yankee. That he has gone down as one of my favorite Yankees of all time, because of the amount of clutch hits that he had, especially in the postseason as well. Ibanez was very clutch, but yeah. So that those are some good questions. So with that, now we are going to take our final break of the show, and then when we come back, I am going to talk about the upcoming series for this weekend, because some of them have a lot of playoff implications to go along with them. So before that, just want to remind you guys to tip or to donate to the program and get your comments recognized. Go to streamelements.com/GSMC Sports Network, or gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. Again, it's on the ticker on at the bottom. helps the show. For bonus coverage materials that are not on this broadcast, make sure to go to patreon.com and search up GSMC Sports Network. So we're going to take another quick break, our final break, and when we come back, we will talk about the important series coming up for this weekend. So stick around, and we will be right back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast.